Hello there everybody, this is Alex from Hardcorian Guides, making my guide for Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 on Master Ninja difficulty, and today we are doing Chapter 2, The Castle of the Dragon. And this is when we're going back to the Hayabusa village. It's going to have the boss fight with Genshin, I think that's his name, and we'll get to that when we get to that, of course. So, starting off, you're going to be at a very familiar place, especially if you played, the first Sigma or the first Ninja Gaiden. You're basically, right inside the graveyard of the Hayabusa village and all that. So, spawning these guys, you can run back between the, I think they're called, no, those aren't really good. Basically, if you run back to the start of this map, you can, run back there, get a free couple of good charges on them if you wanted, or just do it where I did it. Either way works. However, coming up in a few seconds, it's going to be a dog that's going to spawn. This is the ninja dog. So I recommend as soon as you land down on these stairs, go straight for a red UT. The reason why you go for a red is so that way you can potentially get as much damage on this little bastard as you possibly can. And if you can't Azuna drop the dogs, however you can do like the Azuna drop combo in air. And if you are able to do it, I'd recommend going for it at any time at as much as possible, because the dogs can be quite overwhelming, but for the most part, when you can actually handle them one by one, they're not really that bad, especially if you try to keep them in the air for as long as you can, so that way you get as much damage on them as possible. And the thing is, even though I did the red UT, you saw that the dog didn't die, and I'm not exactly sure if that's just because the dog's health is tanky, or just because this game has like the weirdest RNG shit. I don't know, because I feel like this game has a lot of really weird RNG stuff anyway. So, alright, on this bridge is actually an optional item. You don't have to do this. I do it because you get, I think, a Life of the Gods out of it. And once you collect, I think, a certain amount, I don't remember how much it was, so like 10, 12, something like that, you get a health upgrade. And Lives of 1,000 Gods is a free health upgrade no matter what. And they don't take away your Life of the Gods, but they, they do let you keep it. So, in normal Ninja Gaiden 1, this was actually an ambush area that you can get, which, of course, lasted for a good while. And for this part, you only have to fight like 2 to 3 waves of these guys. It's not that bad. As long as you keep your focus on the Black Spider Clan ninjas, then you should be okay, because typically the White Spider Clan aren't really that bad. I mean, the worst they can do to you is throw, but even then still, they go down pretty damn quick. So another thing too to keep in mind is if you're having trouble with dealing with a lot of enemies, the OT was made for that purpose. However, granted, there are less enemies to deal with in this game than there are in the original game, but you can still use the OT to your advantage. So, when I mention OT, I'm not talking about like actually doing the OT. I guess what I'm trying to say is delim. If enemies get overwhelming and you're, and there's just too many of them, you can't handle all of them at once, then I recommend just going for at least a couple of delims, so that way you slow them down. Because as soon as an enemy is delimmed, he'll start to slow down and not really fight as much. And you'll notice that too. Especially in this guide, you'll see like a couple of enemies that just kind of just stagger around, don't really do anything. They just kind of walk kind of slow. However, the worst part about it is, even if they are delimbed, I feel like there's a higher chance for them to go for a grab. And that is the one thing you don't want, because you can't break out of a grab, even on Master Ninja mode. I mean, well, granted, in regular mode, you can break out of a grab when it comes to a grab that's very specific, like the ones where they start, mashing you on the ground, like hitting you. However, an actual regular, one-time grab move will kill you. Even the ones that do like the mash ones, even the ones that you could potentially mash out of, you can't on Master Ninja, because it's just that, it's that devastating. At least until you get more health, and then when you have more health, you'll at least, come down with a little bit more. So up here, charge a UT if you can. If you can't like I did, then that's fine. It doesn't really matter, because as soon as you knock these guys, these dogs on the ground, just instantly jump down this hill and try to go for another UT charge. And I do occasionally fudge up the UT because, well, I'm jumping downhill and I'm hitting triangle like a little too early, so I do the slam attack. And again, not like it really matters, but as long as you UT the dogs, it should be okay. That's my best advice for the dogs, is either UT them or do the Azuna drop combo, but like you can't really do it, you just do like square and air. So yeah, you can't Azuna drop them, but either way, still go for the combo regardless, so that way you at least get some damage of them and they're at least in air and you're somewhat protected. And I don't think they do it yet, but eventually they'll start throwing explosive kunais. Speaking of explosive kunais, I don't actually know how the hell you're supposed to get them in this game. I never have gotten them before. I don't even know if they even really exist in Sigma. Like, I know they exist in Ninja Gaiden 2, but I don't know if they exist in this one. Yeah, after you clear out those enemies, make sure you run back and save. And I can't stress it enough. I can't stress enough how important saving is. Yes, you won't get the full heal back, but at the same time, you know, just being able to save the game is much more worth it than just, you know, a full heal, regardless. Because, like, you can just heal up pretty much almost any time, really, so it's not that big a deal. So as soon as you grab the talons, that's when these guys are going to start spawning. So just charge up a UT, all that fun stuff. Deal with them as you normally do. Triangle combos are actually pretty good against the Spider Clan, so if you want to go for, like, just any regular combo, if you want, like, a good, quick, solid combo that sometimes, like, I'd say, like, 70% of the time gets good D-limbs, then I'd recommend going for the full triangle combo. So just, like, I think, like, 3 hits, and that should be enough to usually chop off, like, a leg, maybe even a head. But that's the thing with the D-limbing, though, is I'm not exactly sure if there is any particular way to D-limb, like, a certain limb or not. I think it's just random for the most part, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Even though I'm doing a guide to this, I'm supposed to know literally everything, but no, it's just more so, like, I'm trying to show you how to beat specific, I'm just trying to show you how to beat specific parts, specific bosses, that kind of stuff. So as soon as mages appear, go for them. Just target mages. You must target mages with, you know, all hatred and all, you know, purpose to kill, because if you leave those fuckers alive, they will kill you. They have a couple of attacks that are really brutal. They have, like, I think 3 different grabs they can do, which isn't too bad because, like, grabs, I mean, one, they're insta-kills, so it's like, you know, you get grabbed, you get screwed. Also, when a Spider Clan guy does, like, a cartwheel attack like that, that's usually typically a sign of they're going to go for a grab. I believe it's a grab. I'm pretty damn certain it's a grab. So be careful of that. When they start going for that cartwheel thing, just dodge out of the way and just, you know, follow up with whatever attack. So yeah, the mages have, like, this pillar attack that they do from the ground, and you'll actually hear an audio cue when they're going to do an attack. So when they start doing, like, some type of chant thing, that's when you want, or even when they start glowing, that's another thing that they have a visual cue for it too. So when they start glowing or when they start chanting, that's oh, I went back and saved the game. That's why that cuts there. And the guy didn't have anything. He just had, like, a note. So anyway, whenever they're doing that, you want to go for them as fast as possible so that way you can stop the pillar, because the pillar is an insta-kill. It's bullshit, but as far as I'm aware, it's an insta-kill. I don't think you can even block it either. However, with the fireballs, they do a lot of damage, but I do think they actually are not insta-kill. Well, they're damn well close to insta-kill, if not. However, you can block the fireballs, but you do take quite a bit of chip damage, and I don't think it's really worth it. So just, you know, whenever they're shooting at fireballs, just dodge it. Basically, whenever mages are on the field at all, just constantly be dodging. The dodge I do is I just do L1, analog stick in a direction, and then hit X. So that way I get the jump out of it. I don't think it really gives you, I'm pretty sure it doesn't give you iframes anyway. However, I do it just because, one, out of habit, and 2, I don't know why, but I just feel like it's safer. So up here you have 2 of the explosive bow archers. These guys suck major donkey balls too. And as you saw, I kind of flub up a few times of trying to get up here. It's a pain in the ass. Now, granted, when it comes to archers, they don't have a lot of health. They take like 2 to 3 hits to kill. They're not that bad. It's just they do a lot of damage, especially when there's like a bunch of them at once. And you'll see that in, like, I think chapter, what is it, 11 or 12, when you're having to run across that water and you're having to deal with, I don't know how many, like maybe like 10 different archers. Like, I'm not exaggerating, like, it's pretty damn close to 10. So, okay, up here, do what you normally do with, of course, you know, the black spiders. Azuna drop, UT, Inferno if you want, that kind of stuff. At least have, for the most part, when it comes to using Nimpo, I'd recommend at least having at least 2 Nimpo on hand. So that way, just in case you get to the boss, and you at least have a good couple of Nimpo if things, you know, happen to go wrong. So, that's my recommendation. I also recommend not using Nimpo nearly as much, especially for just random fodder enemies, but if you absolutely have to do it, then go ahead. Also, to the left are some stairs, and up those stairs is a market shop. So if you needed items or needed a little bit of a respite, then go for that. So coming up here, I'm in the wrong spot, but run behind this wall, right to this corner, UT, and let it rip. God, I actually want to play, one of these days I would like to actually maybe possibly get some Beyblades and just try them out. They seem like they'd be fun. I missed out on that fad like a long time ago, but they still sell them, so I think it'd be kind of cool if I actually did get one. But I would look like a lame-ass, 30-year-old playing with Beyblades, but who cares? So, okay, real quick, back to the guide. I did go back and saved it. And for this part, instantly just go for a Flying Swallow. Go for that guy, get that kill. And then Flying Swallow the next archer. If you don't get the kill off, that's perfectly fine. Just at least if you go and try to kill them, just like you do a mage, where you essentially just, full prejudice, don't care. Just go straight for him. Azuna dropped the Black Spider Clan. There's only one of them. It's not that bad. But yeah, real quick with the mages, go for Flying Swallows as much as you possibly can. Also, that chest back there that I missed drops health. That's why I'm avoiding it. And this chest up here drops ghost fish. And granted, when it comes to like ghost fish chests or like bats, I think it's actually random if it's gonna be bats or if it's gonna be essence. But most of the time, it's just usually whatever enemy. So yeah, right there, you saw that the camera panned. That's what I was talking about in the last chapter. So you run up these stairs, and you go for like at least 1 to 2, at least a blue or a red, or level 1, level 2 charge. And if things get overwhelming, do not be afraid to jump back down here. And that's why I had that chest there, because I remembered that, these assholes are going to be showing up, and I'm going to be using that, to get my health back, essentially. So running down here, at least for the most part, keeps enemies kind of a little, not at bay, but what's the word I'm looking for? Disorientated. So that way you can kind of get your bearings back just a little bit. Just even having a slight breather in this game is very important. Now again, I can't stress it enough, but I'm this game is at least a little bit easier than the original version. So do keep in mind that what could potentially be harder probably is in the original game. So, I don't know. I just feel like there are just, a lot of hardcore purists out there that are probably just, they just hate Sigma and stuff. And it's like, I mean, I love Sigma games. I love these games. I love them a lot. I do want to play the original ones at some point. But to say that these are just absolute crap just seems kind of dumb, in my opinion. But granted, take that from the guy who also happens to like Ninja Gaiden 3. Well, not the original vanilla, but I like Razor's Edge. But, yeah. Well, to be fair, I did not like vanilla. But yeah, I do like Razor's Edge, so I know that one's even. I think Razor's Edge is normally hated on anyway, regardless, because it's just 3. But yeah, 2 mages right there. They are difficult, but when mages are by themselves, they're not that bad, because at least then you can focus on them. However, if they are in groups, they're much worse. Also, whenever you see an archer, well, okay, I can't say that because it doesn't happen all the time. But for right now, in these few chapters, like you see an archer, go straight for them. Just go right at him. Just jet for him. Because once you get rid of them faster, it makes things way easier. Also, equip the Lunar Staff. That's what I did. I saved the game after I equipped it. Equip the Lunar Staff because we're going to be having another boss fight coming up. And I'm going to show you how I deal with this specific boss. So, arrow the first guy on the left. Just make sure your arrows are already, aimed and primed and ready. Because there's only like 4 guys and there's like, 2 that spawn at each. This guy for some reason just misses, I think, every time. I don't know why he does. It's weird. So, a little finicky. But yeah, now we have to fight the red version of the Arachnids. And oh my lord, these guys are just terrible. Especially when you have to fight 2 of them at once. However, for what we're doing right now, there's only 1 and he's not that bad. So, what I do is I use the Lunar Staff and, wait for him to jump. He has a grab attack that, right there. You'll see that grab attack. It's relatively easy to catch and easy to avoid, but if you just keep doing the Azuna attack, drop, I keep saying Azuna drop, like you're not even really technically doing it, but you're doing the combo for it. If you keep doing the combo for it, you'll get a lot of damage on him. Even though he did heal, it doesn't matter, he's still pathetic, so, which is fine and dandy. Quick tip for those that are having trouble using the Lunar Staff. I learned this a little later on in my guide. However, when it comes to Lunar Staff, I do want to specify this real quick, is to get the combo to work almost 100% of the time. It's very finicky. You want to hit the light attack and then wait like a split second and then hit the heavy attack. The reason why is because if you mash the light attack, you'll end up accidentally probably going into another combo you didn't want to go into. So if you wait just that little second, like that split second to hit that heavy attack, then you can, do your Azuna attack. So I recommend doing that on any specific boss that seems to be giving you trouble. The Lunar Staff works really well for that type of stuff. Not every boss it works on, but for the most part, that trick works most of the time. And of course, for those that are having trouble with bosses, in this game, I'm going to be showing you how to deal with them. Not appropriately, but just how I deal with them, I guess. If you consider it appropriate, then that's cool. I mean, hey, you know, if it helps you win, if it helps you beat this game, then, I mean, that's the point, right? So, yeah. Alright, so yeah, of course, you know, Spider Clans, they do spawn one guy just to be a dick near the save point. For these guys, these are just archers. I recommend going, just, you know, wall run up to them and just destroy them. You know, don't worry about shooting them unless, I mean, well, I did here just because I had the time to do it, but the thing is with archers is they suck major ass, as I specified before, and they're just detrimental to pretty much everything. They do so much damage and they attack so fast that it's just insanely ridiculous just to deal with them. Also, that trap door right there, it only leads back down to the save room. It doesn't lead to anything else, which I thought it did, but it didn't. So, I got confused at what collectibles were actually in this section. If you wanted to use Nimpo, there is a Devil Mushroom up there that you can grab. However, I barely use Nimpo, so I don't really need it. But if you ever do see a Devil Mushroom and you already have too much to carry, then you could always just, yeah, right here, if you shoot this, it spawns blue orbs. It's nice. Nice, helpful little thing for you. I run back and I go to look for objects later, and you'll see that eventually. Because I thought for some reason I missed collectibles, but I don't think I did. What was I going to say? Crap, I totally forgot. Poop. Well, yeah, going for archers. Don't worry about shooting them, just, you know, wall run to the ones and just deal with them. So as soon as you drop these mages, there's only like 2 of them. Again, it's not that bad when there's like 2 or 3. Like, if it's just mage archetype, then I feel like it's much better. I don't know exactly what they're called. I just call them mages. I don't know if they're actually wizards or what. I don't care. But yeah, you see, like, he starts, you know, enchanting that stuff. It looks like he's doing Nimpo stuff. That's the best time to attack. And since we also have the bow, which is very, very... it's a very nice weapon. You can actually jump and then hit R2 while in the air, which I think was a Sigma edition, if I'm not mistaken. You can use that to sort of, kind of knock him out of an attack, as you saw that I was doing there. That's another good tip. If you're having trouble with enemies and they're just throwing out attacks willy-nilly, or if you're just approaching an enemy and you're trying to get like a good approach and you don't want to flying swallow because it might be too risky, then you can always just jump and then shoot. Also, right here, you could stand in that doorway to avoid the guys on the right and take out this guy right here. But I run in just, you know, full balls blazing and just go straight for them because as long as you're dodging and you're running in, and you're just, you know, dodging every attack or just every second, because these guys are, like I said, they are quite aggressive. As long as you're just dodging pretty much everything, then for the most part you can deal with them. They're planted around that area kind of like in a ring, so they're not too difficult to deal with if you're being aggressive, and that's where I think kind of helps. Because like if you play defensively here, you're just going to get lobbed by like 2 or 3 shots at once, and it sucks. And again, if you're having trouble and you're kind of afraid of just like going head on with them, just, you know, jump and then shoot. That way you can take them out. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is wrong with the bow lock-on. The lock-on system in this game, I think, is just kind of shit. Not just the bow, but just in general. Like, sometimes, like, I go to hit an enemy, and then I just don't. It's very odd. Right there, I just press circle to get off. That's how I do it. You don't have to, but, like, that's just a fun little thing. So, yeah, coming up, well, actually, in that ringed area out here, you know, once we climb back up. So, this area right here, of course, you saw earlier, I got Lives of 1,000 Gods. Give me a free full health upgrade. And once you come up these stairs, you're going to want to jump back to your left. Make sure you don't trigger the cutscene that comes up. Jump back to your left and grab a Life of the Gods. And then next up is the Genshin fight. So whip out the Lunar Staff and instantly start going for the Azuna drop. And now the best part is you can Azuna drop him pretty much at all times. Now, this fight is relatively quick, and I do want to explain a few things. 1, you can't jump in this fight because if you do, you will get knocked right back down. And 2, watch his combos from like either this guide or just like learn his combos in general. You can block most of his attacks. However, he does have a few heavy attacks, but if you just keep an eye on his combos, he'll do mostly the same stuff. That one right there, as soon as you get hit, as soon as you hear your swords clunk, just dodge and then go straight for that Azuna drop. Now remember, be patient with your Azuna drop. Also, if he starts using the Piercing Void, which is a great Nimpa, by the way, we're going to be upgrading that to level 3, just for those that are wondering. Whenever he's going for the Piercing Void, just whip out your Nimpo. He can only do it like 2 or 3 times this fight anyway. He only does it like at select health regardless, so I think he only does like twice. But there you go. Even if you can't get the Azuna drop itself, go for it. Just as long as you get some hits, you come back down, you hit him, you do some damage. That's what you want. So I'll see you guys next time. So take care, everybody.